everyone, and welcome to our new podcast, Zero to Millions podcast, in which we're going to be interviewing people who have reached their first million and beyond in the first 1 to 2 years of their business, specifically working as in the information space. We're specifically working in an online information space. And so today we have, and Swan, so it's Swan Bonin.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it.
Great. We have Swan here, and I'm super excited to learn more about your path, your journey, and how it is that you got to making your first $1 million being so young. So tell, first of all, how old are you?
Just started 23 years old.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. So for all of my young people out there, you know that if he can make it, you definitely can make it. And for also anyone else, like it's such an exciting world to live in. So Swan, if you could share a little bit more about your life story, like how did you get to where you are right now? How did you find the business idea that you wanted to work on? And like, tell us the whole, the context, the background as to how you got to where you are now, and tell us where you are now and what it is that you do.
All right, sure. So yeah, first of all, thanks for inviting me. It's pretty cool to share all of this. So yeah, my name is Swan. I'm 23 years old, and I started like in e-commerce like 5 years ago, I think. It was kind of like a print-on-demand business I had, and like definitely not successful. I had many businesses like in like a 3 years period of time, like absolute fails. Like I was making no money. I was making summer jobs, like working summer jobs only to like finance my projects. And then I heard about like drop shipping, I think 3 years ago, and I launched the first business. It was not successful. It was making like 500, 1K a month. But for me as a student, it was pretty nice.
Yeah.
And yeah, then I saw that it was a very cool opportunity to get in, and I worked it very, very hard. During 6 months, I had my like first, I think, successful project. Was making like 10K, I think, a month. For me, it was amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, then I had over like successful websites. Then I launched like more a consulting business on the side.
Yeah.
And right now I have like, I own an agency. The name is Brabus Media, and it's like a branding and consulting agency. So we do the branding, but we also do the strategies, of like the e-com side of thing. And yeah, a part of this, I manage like 3, 6 to 7 figures brands in e-commerce right now. And we live in Panama City. We just moved out with the whole team. So yeah, that's cool.
That's amazing. How long have you guys been in Panama City?
It's been almost 2 months. It's like, yeah, it was like in June.
And why Panama City?
Because we were looking for somewhere else from France, because it's not the best country if you want to have a business, obviously.
Yeah.
So we were hesitating between Estonia, Malta, Dubai, and I don't know, like Panama City was kind of like a very good place to get in, and everybody agreed on like, yeah, the city is cool, cost of living is cool, people are cool, so yeah, let's try it.
Awesome, fantastic. All right, so in this podcast, what we're going to be focusing on, and it's a podcast, it's also a show. We're going to be on YouTube as well, and also, guys, this is our first interview, so this is super exciting, and we're going to be developing more. But the whole point of this specific podcast is learning about the journey to your first $1 million, right? And so I believe that one of these steps of reaching your first $1 million is to decide that you want to make that kind of money. So did you have a goal to make $1 million? Like, how did you get to a place where you made $1 million?
Yeah, the original goal was to actually not make 1 million. It was to make 10 million. It's still make 10 million in like the next year.
Yes.
So yeah, definitely you need to have a goal. You need to aim really high. And yeah, it's been like, I think being financially independent was my dream since like 10 years, because I had like my mother as an example, and she's like a very, very hard worker. She's the kind of person like who is up at 5 and come back at 10. And yeah, so I had to take care of, like of all my siblings when I was younger. So that's when I decided that I wanted to be like financially free so I can focus on the good side of things. And yeah, my original goal was 10 million. It's still 10 millions in the next year. So yeah. You need to
That's
have a
really
goal and a precise one.
Yeah, so tell the people who are listening to this or watching this, how did having a goal versus not having a goal and a very specific financial, numerical goal, how did that
Hmm.
impact the way that you strategized, the way that you showed up to your business, the way that you decided to say yes or no to specific
Yeah,
things? Like having a
absolutely.
specific number of 10 million, what did that mean for you?
I think like I can take the image of like if you don't have any goal, you can have like the best ship in the world. If the captain's like has no direction, you're gonna get nowhere. And actually, what I did and what I think most of people do is like you have a goal. So in mind, myself it was like 10 million, and then
Hmm.
from the goal you craft a plan, and
Yeah.
then from the plan you know what you need to do,
Yes.
and that's what I think like it worked for me, and I think like it worked for almost everybody to have this kind of precise goal. And
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes people they say, like I want to make as much money as possible. No, that's not the correct answer. You need to have like precise like number in your head.
Yeah, it's not like you're just gonna stumble. Some people might just stumble upon their first $1 million, but to get to your first million, your first 10 million, you have to be pretty strategic to get there because
Yeah,
there's systems, there's things that you have to get under, under lock. So tell me a
absolutely.
little bit more. Why 10 million? What guided the number?
Actually, because yeah, I thought like yeah, one is not enough, obviously, for the kind of like I mean like I view it more as a tool. Like I'm not buying like cars or anything, but it's more a tool
Hmm.
to like give life to my ideas. But
Hmm.
yeah, anyway, 1 million wasn't enough. Like 5 million, I don't know. Like 10 million sounds good, I think. But
Yeah,
like it's the first step. Then I have like other goals. It's the first one.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I thought it was enough to like because I have lots of siblings, and yeah,
Mm.
it was enough to have like create my ideas, have a whole team because the whole team is here too,
Hmm.
and yeah, like provide enough so I know that my family and my siblings like
Hmm.
they won't miss anything.
Yeah, yeah. How many siblings do you have?
Whoa, like there is I think like seven something like this, but like
Yeah.
it's like yeah a very big family.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, no, I get it. I think that for me, one of the moments that I have that hasn't happened yet, but and then if my parents are listening, just cover your ears. It'll be that moment where I just hand them the keys and say, this is your house, right? To be able to take care of your family.
Yeah,
Mm,
absolutely. Yeah,
yes. Can you
that's
talk
true.
more about what you talked about what it means to you? You're able to work more on your ideas, but I think sometimes people have this, I think, erroneous view about money and money, like having all these like emotional baggage and like, how do you view
Yeah.
money?
I view money as a tool, just so I can, as I told you, yeah, as a tool to create things. I really like to create things. That's why I have like right
Mm,
now my branding agency because I can focus on creating things, creating
mm-hmm,
ideas, creating strategies. And yeah, for me, it's only a tool, so I can make things happen and I can,
mm-hmm,
like live experience.
mm-hmm.
Like right now, it's pretty cool because I got like almost my whole team with me. Like we're 13 people, I think. Yeah, I'm sure we are 13 people, and yeah, it's very cool adventure. We are all young,
Mm,
so yeah, for me, that's what money is. Money is not like it's never been a way to like like show off,
mm-hmm,
impress.
mm-hmm.
I have like $10 t-shirts, $20 jeans,
Yeah,
and it will not change. So yeah, it's just a tool so I can
yeah.
give life to my ideas. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. So tell me about the the first year. So how if we did a timeline, how long would you say it took you from making a decision that, you know what, we're going after the $10 million goal, and how long did it take you from like that decision to making your first $1 million? Tell us about what that timeline looks like and what was the beginning
Whoa. All right. So I think it's been like 4, 5 years journey. Yeah, I knew I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, but it's like, yeah, it's been 5 years. The beginning was pretty hard because,
like?
yeah, when you are like a 17, 18 years old kid, it's pretty hard to think, yeah, I'm right. Like everybody's wrong. Everybody's telling me, yeah, go get a job, go
Mm,
finish your studies.
mhm,
And yeah, it's pretty hard to say and to think, yeah, I'm right, they're wrong. So the first year, it was like pure struggle. I presented my first
mm,
project in my school,
mhm,
which I dropped out of, by
mhm,
the way. And yeah, it was not fun, not cool, pretty hard. Second year, I launched like other businesses, bracelets, things like this, pretty hard too. And yeah, third year, that's when I began to have results. Um, so it was better. And I think the first 3 years were the worst because yeah,
I'm
you know,
laughing
yeah,
because I get it. I get it. Yep.
yeah, that's why it's cool. Like when you talk to other entrepreneurs, because like they know, everybody knows,
Uh-huh.
So yeah, and then once I had my first successful project, if I can
Yeah.
say, yeah, that was amazing because that was not the fact that I had money. That was the fact that yeah, you can make money with your ideas. You were right, you were right, and they were wrong. And yeah, I think it's been exponential, but I think it's the same for everybody. Like nothing is linear in business, in entrepreneurship. At the beginning, you put a lot of effort in. I wrote a lot of books, took a lot of courses, launched many businesses, and with no result at the beginning. And then it just went exponential. Then I was making 10K, and the next month I was making like 100K, and then it went up like almost to 500,000. So yeah,
Yeah.
at the beginning you will put a lot of effort in, but yeah, remember it's exponential.
That's amazing. I think that's spot on. So what would you say to someone who's in year one? What would you say to someone? Let's talk about, okay, we're going to go through the years. Like, as I agree, the first 3 years are, oh my God, they're crazy. So
Oh yeah.
when someone is just thinking, so I don't know what, for you, it sounds like it was, you were in school and you were just thinking, is this it? Like, right? Do I have to follow this like traditional path? For me,
Yeah.
I went to law school and I became a lawyer, and I was just like, is this it? I am so unhappy. Like, there has to be more. So
Mm,
for the person that is still in school and they're wondering, do I follow traditional success? Do I become a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer,
yeah.
traditional success? Or for the person that's in the 9 to 5 and they're wondering, like, gosh, I'm just waking up for a paycheck and it's like soul sucking work. What would you say to the person that they have an option, right? They can choose to stay in that suck, or they can choose a different kind of suck, because they're both gonna suck. So talk to the
Yeah.
person who's like deciding whether to go down traditional, road, or being like, hey, let me try this entrepreneurial thing.
Yeah, I think for me the answer is pretty easy. I will tell them, yeah, uh, just try everything out so you can realize your dream. Because even if I would have never been successful, and I was saying this to myself when I began, I was saying, okay, this is hard. I'm struggling, but I can do this all my life. Because even
Yes.
if I earn like a minimum wage all my life trying to like get
Yes.
things done and realize my dream, I will have no regrets.
Yes.
So yeah, that's it. I prefer to like not have
Yes.
traditional success and
Yes.
try to, because for me that's the biggest success. Never give up, even if you are already like not already successful, it's already a success, in itself.
Yeah. So to talk about, because I at some point, like, I have a book that I'm writing. At some
Mhm.
point I'm going to share the stories of those moments when you're in the struggle. By the way, that's Pokey right there. Hi, Pokey. Do you want to say hello? Okay, you're good. So when you're in the struggle and you're in year one, you're 6 months in, you're in year two, you're in year three, and you're still in the suck hole, and you're like, is this ever gonna work out? What did you say to yourself when you were in that hard moment? And what would you say to someone who is in that spot right now and they're wondering, should I give up? Like, what do I do? This is not working.
Yeah, first of all, if you really want to succeed, like giving up is really not an option. That's the first thing. Second thing is that yeah, you need to go through it, and yeah, you need to remember that yeah, when I began, like I knew I would not be successful at first, but I knew that what I was doing right now would teach me the lessons I need to know in order to succeed. So yeah, the goal with my first business, second business, was not to make a million. Obviously, it was to like learn the lessons that
Mm.
get me here.
Mhm.
So yeah, you need to, of course, you need to, you take action, and you have a reaction, and you have a feedback, and you need to take
Mhm.
action on this feedback in order to
Mhm.
progress. But
Mhm.
yeah, just remember that like it's part of the process, and yeah, it will teach you the lesson you need to know in order to be successful.
Hmm. So when you think of who you've become as a person because of the struggles that you had, like you to be where you are, you had to keep showing up even if it was hard
Yeah.
after hard after hard. What have you learned about yourself in terms of what you're able to do to sustain, given you continuing to showing up even when it's really hard?
So what I've learned about myself showing up every day.
Yeah, like who
Uh,
did you become? Like what are the things that you're proud of? Like when you look in the mirror, who do you see?
um, I don't know. Like, I think I'm proud of, yeah, definitely of not giving up the first years, because yeah, as you can tell, like every entrepreneur is going to struggle at the beginning. But yeah,
Mhm.
important thing is like the fact that you can handle and you know that you are in the struggle actually will become the best memories. Like once you are successful, like you can say, yeah, like was cool, the hustle was cool. But yeah, what
Yeah.
I've learned about myself is, yeah, I will keep showing up. Like I will
Mm.
never, like failure, like giving up is not an option at all.
Mm.
And yeah, I'm proud of like dropping out of my school 3 years before graduating my master,
Mm.
because I
Mm.
didn't want people to say, yeah, you're successful because you went to school. Like absolutely not.
Mm. Mm.
And yeah, proud of also, yeah, like keeping showing up because
Mhm.
begin, like when you how to say this, yeah, the beginning is easy, everybody can begin. It's the same as is like in gym, it's the same like eating healthy, it's the same as
Mm.
beginning business, everybody can begin it. Like yeah, everybody wants to, everybody, like we all have a friend, but like all of our friends, they start to have a diet, and at one time they start to like
Mm.
go to gym, but like 2 years after, like there is nobody.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's all I think. That's it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So um if you could dwindle it down to three main either characteristics or skill sets, or just the three things that you think were pivotal in you getting to the point where you broke the $1 million point, what would you say are the things that were most important for you?
Uh, First thing I think is consistency. Like obviously, is the most one of the most important thing to keep showing up, keep showing up, keep showing up. Because yeah, it creates like what we call compound effect, and like there is this famous quote from like Albert Einstein, in which he said like compound effect is like one of the best thing in the world, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, absolutely true. So yeah, consistency. Second thing will be to yeah have good habits. Obviously, like
Mm-hmm.
we are all motivated at some points, but yeah, motivation
Mm-hmm.
doesn't stay, and
Mm-hmm.
habits like they stay. So we all know that we need
Habits
to
are
read.
forever.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, definitely you need to create the good habits, and we all
Mm-hmm.
know what the good habits are: waking up early, have a good diet,
Mm-hmm.
uh, like be healthier, like do some kind of sport, fitness, or I
Mm-hmm.
don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Keep showing up, and yeah, like read, take
Mhm.
courses,
Mhm.
take action, this kind of habits.
Mhm.
And yeah, our third thing, yeah, I think is you need to also understand that yeah, the hustle is part of a process, and
Mm.
like it's normal to not be successful at first, like
Mhm.
first one, two, second, third year. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Um. So, as you think of, uh, so a couple of questions. Well, first of all,
sure.
you touched upon the habits that are really important. Talk to me about those habits. Like, talk to me. What does your day look like? What are those consistent habits? And then the second question that I would want you to touch in, because you've mentioned it a couple of times, is talk to me about your investment. What did it look like? Did you just, like magically that information that you needed like wound up in your brain, or did you keep investing in yourself again and again? So habits, and then what did investment, how does investment play into your success?
Yeah, all right. So habits, I think I began to really like get interested into good habits when I first wrote the book. The name, all right, let me remember the name. It's a New York Times bestseller about habits, like,
Oh, is it the
yeah,
power of habit?
Yeah, absolutely. This is this one. So yeah, I
Yeah.
read this book, and then like uh, I didn't have the same conception as I have like right now of habits, and I didn't
Mm-hmm.
understood, but it was like that powerful.
Mm.
So like, but when I that's when I begin to like try to get these habits in. Also, I took the course. I don't know if you know, but I think you know him, like Sam Ovens.
Mm-hmm.
Like I took his course, and in
Mm-hmm.
the like the second week, he really talked about habits and things like this.
Mm.
So yeah, what my day looked like, actually, we have the same schedule for the whole team. Like we wake up at 5:30, 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
We have some like pancake, thing like this. we
Yeah.
we have a breakfast.
Yeah.
Then we all go to the gym. So we have a gym in the tower. So that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. We go to the gym. We take a cold shower right after the gym. Uh, yeah, then we come back and we try to do some meditation. I'm not gonna lie, I cannot like do it every day for
I
the
can't either.
meditation like side of things, but we try to do it as often as possible.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the morning routine.
Yeah.
And then through the day, yeah, we have some like kind of like reporting thing, task management, organization, things like this. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, most of the like good habits are set up in the morning, you know.
Mm. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like your entire team does this.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We back like last year, we did like we called boot camp. It was like everybody was taking vacation, but instead of going to vacation, we were like waking up at 6 a.m., going for a run, like on half naked, you know, in the cold, things
Yeah.
like this, you know, trying
Yeah.
to discipline ourselves. That was funny, I thought. But yeah, so
That's
the old team
amazing.
a bit.
That's amazing. So with my clients, I like try to hammer in. I'm like morning routine, evening routine. So tell me,
Mhm.
how would your life be different if you did not have a morning routine? What would that mean for
Uh,
your success?
Actually, like I think like 1 year ago, I lost my morning routine for 3 months, and
Yeah.
it was a complete mess. First of all, you wake up in the morning, it's like 9, 10, 11, and yeah, you feel bad because everybody is awake, you know,
Yeah.
and yeah, you start of the day with like a very bad feeling,
Yeah.
and then yeah, it was pretty hard to focus, pretty hard to get productive, and
Yeah.
yeah, definitely I will not be here if I was not waking up at 6 a.m., was not meditating or going to the gym.
Everyone who's listening or watching this, please take note on that. All
Mm.
right. So let's talk about hard. What were the hardest lessons? What were the hardest, the three hardest moments that you remember facing as you made it to your first $1 million?
All right. First thing, I think everybody wants you to lose, actually, especially in business school, because I was in business school. So, you
Yeah.
know, that's kind of like competition to which one is most successful.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everybody wants to choose, but like nothing personal. Like they want you to be successful, but not too much, you know, so they don't
Mm,
get uncomfortable. And yeah, that's nothing personal. I think just that, you know, like you only remind people that they are not doing anything with their life. So
mm,
actually that they are hating on them.
mhm,
But yeah, that's the first hard lesson I've learned. Like people don't want to have
mm,
you like in their life if you are too successful for them. So
mm,
that's the first thing. The second thing I think is about money.
mhm.
Yeah, actually, when there is money on the table, like there is no friends, there is no family, you know. Uh, so yeah, I had some like not cool story with like people going crazy because we started like earning some money. So that's why right now I don't have any like partners in business. I do all my things
Mhm,
alone. I have my team obviously, but like I'm like
mhm.
the only shareholder. I think
Yeah,
that's the word.
yeah,
So yeah, and I think we've all like heard about the stories of like families getting in a heritage and like
yeah,
this kind of problem. So yeah,
yeah.
when there is money, there is no best friends, there is no associate, there is no family.
Mm,
Sometimes you know, like
mhm,
it could be the
mhm,
opposite, but it's
mhm,
dangerous. And yeah, I
mm.
think third lesson, yeah, it's hard. It's real hard at the beginning. Like when you see like people, successful entrepreneurs or
Yeah.
anything, like you only see the top of the iceberg, and yeah, you don't see obviously all the
Yeah,
years you have to put in, all the sacrifices you need to make,
yeah.
all the hard time you need to go through, because
Mhm,
it's not like a 9 to 5 where when you can go home and think about something else. It's like,
mm,
yeah, okay, I'm an
mhm,
entrepreneur from the moment I open my eyes to the moment
mhm,
I close my eyes, even more sometimes to dream
mm.
about business or
Yeah.
strategies, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, that's it for the lessons. I think hard lessons.
What are some of the sacrifices, if you had to pinpoint like actual sacrifices? Because I want people to understand what I keep telling people that are part of my courses, they're part of my, my coaching, whatever it is.
Hmm.
I tell them, look, like I'm not the puppies and rainbows coach. Like you need to understand that you're signing up for hard and it's
Oh
worth
yeah.
it. So let's
Mm.
talk about the sacrifices. What does it mean for you to go to sleep, late or wake up super early or work during the weekends when everybody is having a
Hmm.
picnic? So talk about the actual sacrifices that you've made.
Yeah, a lot, but let's go through them. The first thing that was pretty hard is that when you want to become an entrepreneur, everything and everybody will try to get you like back on the trail, back into a
Mm,
normal life. My parents, my siblings, my friends, obviously, everybody. So I think that's the same for everybody. Like everybody wants you to get
mhm,
normal life, get a normal job. Like,
mm,
but yeah, sacrifices. I needed to sacrifice like 5 years old long relationship
mm,
because it was like keeping me from reaching my goals.
mhm,
Friends, obviously, lots of friends. Like there
mm,
is this quote that say, "Show me your friend, I will show you your future," and
mhm,
it's 100% true. So I had to like not get rid, but like
mhm,
not being like friend anymore with a lot of friends I had. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I go to the
mm,
gym every day. So still some sacrifices, because I didn't have the same uh, fun time people of my age had when they
yeah,
were younger. I was not going to nightclubs. I
yeah,
was not drinking. I was not drinking because I'm allergic to, but yeah, I was not smoking.
yeah,
Yeah, I wasn't going out
mhm,
really a lot. Uh, so yeah, and it's pretty hard to do this when all your friends do the opposite,
yeah,
because when you are like 18, 19, 20 years old, like almost nobody is like into this entrepreneur mindset.
mhm, mhm,
So yeah, parents also, I think one of the hardest thing was to drop out of my school
mhm,
before graduating because I
mhm,
have no diploma. I have no
mhm,
diploma. I was going for a master. I was only 3 months from the diploma, and my parents
mhm,
they really like worked very hard, and I was one of the first kid to get a degree, a master degree.
mhm,
So yeah,
mhm,
that was pretty hard to take this decision and to say, yeah, all right, I need to go because like
mhm.
for some people, 3 months is very short, but when you are in business, 3 months can means
Yeah,
like life for your business.
yeah,
So I had to take this risk, and that's yeah, I think the best one I took.
yeah,
Yeah, then some other stuff, but that's one of the main things. You're gonna need to sacrifice friends.
mhm,
You're gonna need to sacrifice families. You're gonna need to sacrifice opportunities. Obviously, fun times because it's not fun to wake up at 6, go to the gyms every day for 5 years. That's not
yeah.
fun every day, but in the end, it's worth it like 1,000 times.
So
Like
let's
no
talk
regrets.
about that. So we just scared a lot of people. So
Yeah.
let's talk about the other side. So why is it worth it? Like, what is waiting on the other side?
Wow, like I don't know if there is a word to describe what's on the other side. Like everything you can imagine, everything you can dream of. Like, and yeah, I think for me the best thing on the other side is being able to wake up and to do what I like to do. Because in these 5 years, I didn't work a single hour. Like it was even if I had like very hard time and very cool
Yeah,
time. Yeah, I'm lucky to do what I like. I'm lucky to be with the
yeah,
people I like. Uh, you know that's yeah, that's what I think. Like one of the best thing to do is like waking up
yeah,
and organize your day, being able to like yeah, like be here today, talk with you, and then do something else that I choose.
yeah,
And yeah, the second thing I think is like yeah, obviously financial freedom, because
yeah,
even if money is a tool, if you don't have any money, you're gonna have hard time
yes,
uh, paying for medical care, or I don't know, can be anything.
yeah,
So yeah, I think money gets you like uh, get rid of like most of the problems we all have, and then when you have some money, you can focus on what's really important, what's really matter: human relationships,
mhm,
health, projects, ideas, things like this.
mhm,
And yeah, and even if sometimes it lasts like 1 second, like you work like 5 years for 1 second, you
mhm,
say, all right, all worth it,
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what do your parents say now about you dropping out 3 months before the diploma?
Um, my father is like he's like my best supporter, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, no worries on this. He's very proud, and
Yeah.
my mom is kind of little bit complicated, because
Yeah.
obviously I'm from an Asian family, and I'm not a
Yeah.
doctor, I'm not an engineer, I'm not a lawyer. So yeah, it's a bit harder, but yeah, I think she will be okay once I came back and I say, all right, so
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about like the financial side of things.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
But she don't really know, like they don't know how much money we can make, or they
Yeah.
just know that it's okay, like we're doing good and business is great, but like they don't know the numbers.
Yeah. 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 No, that's really cool that your dad is your number one supporter.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Okay. So if you had to go back, to the very, very beginning, and you had hindsight of all that you know now, what
Hmm.
would you tell yourself? What would you differently? What would you like coach yourself on? What would you say? Hey, dummy, don't make those mistakes. Hey, do this better. Hey, you need to focus more time here. What would those main
Yeah.
lessons be if you could do it all again?
I think the first one is like, yeah, we live in a very fantastic eras. Like we can work like from everywhere on our
Mhm.
computers, and
Yeah.
there is like so much opportunities. I think like there is a million way to make 1 million like euros online.
Yes.
And
Yes. Yes.
actually, I see too many people like, and I was doing this also. Like you see an opportunity and then you see it doesn't work, and you go on to like something else, dropshipping, to Amazon FBA, to consulting, to selling courses, or I don't know.
Mhm.
You need to really focus on something and get like be one of the best at it, and then it's gonna be all right. Obviously, it can be
Yes.
affiliation, it can be anything. You need to focus on one thing,
Mhm.
and you need to be very good at it.
Mhm.
The second thing is obviously to not give up, because yeah, as I was saying, for like every success, financial or entrepreneurial success, it's
Mhm.
exponential. It's not linear.
Mhm.
So all the effort you put in, they're gonna pay off, obviously. And yeah, you need to have like back in the days, I didn't have a very clear vision of what I wanted to do, of
Mhm.
what I wanted to have, and you
Mhm.
need to have very very clear vision of what you want and what
Mhm.
you have, because from that vision
Mhm.
you know what actions you need to take
Mhm.
to get to that vision.
Mhm.
So yeah, and maybe one last thing is yeah, don't listen to anybody that tells you that you
Mhm.
cannot do it, because yeah, they're wrong.
Yes.
They're wrong.
Yes, absolutely. So let's talk about the online space. So
Mhm.
where, what were the lessons? What were the skill sets that you needed to learn in terms of the online space to be successful? Did you need to learn marketing? Did you need to learn sales? Did you need to learn code? Like what were the skills, the specific things that you needed to become world class at for you to reach your success?
First thing I think is marketing, because I see some
Yes.
people in drop shipping, doing yoga or anything. They say, "Oh, I'm
Mhm.
like," when you ask what kind of business you are in, they say yoga, they say drop shipping, but no, like in the end, what you do is marketing. So marketing is one of the biggest skills
Mhm.
I had to develop, and that gets me
Mhm.
here, that got me here. So
Mhm.
yeah, marketing, coding, like I use Shopify, so I don't really need to code. And
Yeah.
the second thing I think that gets me here, because obviously it's a branding agency, it's
Mhm.
imagination, the ability
Mm.
to see
Mhm.
what's look good, what looks good, and what
Mhm.
doesn't, and yeah, like imagine, like
Mhm.
trying to create things, imagine things. So yeah, marketing and creativity for me. But yeah, can
Got
change.
it.
But
So you were talking about focusing on the one thing. What was when you started being successful? What was like the one thing that you focused in on?
strategies and brands, creating like
Mhm.
branding and
Mhm.
strategies, like organize my team. And yeah, strategies can be like into email retargeting, front
Mhm.
end, back end strategies,
Mhm.
partnerships, influencer strategies, anything.
Mhm.
Like I'm really passionate about create all these complicated. If you look on my windows, like very strategies all over. uh, yeah, all day
Uh,
long I'm writing
that's
things.
that's all of us here, right?
Yeah, I, definitely. So that's very important, I think, to like have this creativity and have this all of this idea and being able to put them on the wall, on the glass,
Yeah.
I don't know. And yeah, that's it, I think.
Awesome. And so in terms of like the one thing in
Oh yeah.
terms of your business though, did you focus on e-commerce? Did you focus on the branding business? What was the one where you said, I'm going all in and this is what's going to lead me to success and I need to become, like you said, one of the best in the world? Where did you
Yeah.
focus?
It was e-commerce. E-commerce definitely, because I knew, it's one of the biggest opportunities of a century,
Mhm.
of a decade maybe. But yeah, it's blowing up. It's gonna blow up. It's gonna double like
Yeah.
until 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very very good opportunities, and like it's a 100 billion market. So
Hmm.
you can get easily 1 million in this if you are very good at it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's what I focus on. And yeah, as the time as I get
Mhm.
more experience, I had people asking me questions, and then I began to
Mhm.
like monetize.
Mhm.
So I was doing consulting, like strategies for ecom, and I was
Yeah.
still having my ecom business on the side.
Yeah.
And then I added the branding to the
Mhm.
consulting side of thing, and I still
Mhm.
have my ecom on the side. So yeah, the main
Mhm.
skill, the main thing I focused on was
Mhm.
e-commerce and marketing.
Okay. And when you think of, say, that like 100% of your first $1 million, would you say that 70% of that was e-commerce and 30% of it was your branding business? Like, what is the breakdown in terms of you getting to your first $1 million? What is the breakdown in terms of where you focus your energy in terms of a business focus?
I think it's uh, 70 to 80% on the e-com side of thing, and the rest is from consulting, branding, and things like this.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think like the next month I'm gonna try to get to 50-50%, like
Okay.
because I'm really focusing, and we have like very new offers we do, and it's like more not done for you, but it's more like
Hmm.
courses and
Yeah.
rent. Like we have like new ideas. We're gonna rent some website because we have very expensive
Hmm.
websites, so we're gonna rent them. So it
Hmm.
will be more, time consuming, and we're gonna scale
Hmm.
this also. So, but yeah, for
Okay.
now it's more 80, 20, 70, 30.
Okay. And talk to us about the opportunity in the, so we have e-commerce, and then there's this whole other world of like information, online information products and services.
Hmm.
So what do you see as being the promise in that space? I mean, I'm in that space. The margins are huge. It's super low
Hmm.
cost. You can literally work from wherever in the world. So when you think about that, that space and taking your business from, 70-30 to 50-50, why is it that you're shifting over into more 50-50?
Because actually, when I compare my ecom business and my like consulting business, I'm more interested into my consulting business because
Mhm.
that's where I can get the most creative, create strategies and things like this.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. The second thing is even if I try to deliver value as much as possible into my ecom businesses, I deliver so much more value into
Yeah.
my consulting and branding business. Like the best thing in the world, I think, is when your customer they come back and they say, "Oh, thank you, you really changed
Yeah.
my life," or "You
Yeah.
really changed my business," and that's the best feeling in the world. So yeah, that's why I want to focus really on my consulting business, because
Mhm.
you can really help people, you can really have an impact,
Mhm.
and obviously the margins are high, but yeah, the most important thing is that you can really have an impact, and I
Yes.
think for an entrepreneur is one of the best things, and you can really focus on what you are very good at.
Yes, absolutely. I mean that's why I'm in the space, because it's the two
Mhm.
factor. It's the impact. If you're really focused on impact, there is almost no space that allows you to have as much
Mhm.
impact. If you're smart about the
Yeah.
marketing, like you were talking about, getting really good at sales, the impact piece is huge. And then we have there's, what's going on there? So we
Yeah,
have
sorry. That's a little bit busy here.
no worries. So we have the impact piece, and then we're talking about the profit margins. Talk about the profit
Mhm.
margins in the online information space.
For us, I think it's 99%, something like this. Like it's really, really huge. On the ecom, in
Yeah,
my ecom business, it's more like 40, 50% when we
yeah,
do very well.
yeah.
But yeah, obviously, like it's pretty amazing because, like, imagine you do a course. you sell it for 1,000 euros 1,000 times, the costs are going to be the same. You can sell it a billion times actually, and you won't have all of the issues I can have with my e-com business. Is like poor sales that don't arrive, problem in sourcing, problem in I don't know. Like, there is so much thing that can cause you problems, and yeah, that's where I think the beauty is in the informational
Yes.
product.
I'm with you. I'm like, people don't even know about this. I speak about the online information space, and people are like, what is the online information space? What is the expert space? And I'm like, oh my God, this is like the place to be right now. I tried everything. I tried nonprofits, government work, teacher.
Yeah, yeah.
I was a lawyer. I did startups. And literally when you think about living the best lifestyle and making an impact and having those high, profit margins, there is no space that's better than the online space currently, I believe. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, yeah, you can, have a huge impact and work from anywhere in the world, make a very good living. Yeah, like all good, like on all points, So
All good on all points. Talk about lifestyle. What is the lifestyle of an online information entrepreneur?
Like more of like my lifestyle or the lifestyle of someone, because I don't have like I'm not all in on information product right now.
I get it.
So,
yeah. But when you think of the possibilities in terms of lifestyle, we were saying like you guys are living in Panama City, you're French. Like, what are some of the liberties that come with it in terms of your control over your time, of your schedule, over your location, over the work that you do? What does that look like? What are the possibilities there?
Well, you can like once you start being financially free, and also once you start like being financially free by having this kind of business that are very easy to automate, very easy to scale, and like in which you can have a lot of value. Like the lifestyle is pretty good. So for us, it's nothing crazy, but yeah, we have a very cool apartment. We can go out. We can manage our time as we want. Even if we work like 24/7, but if we want to go out, we can go out. If we want to travel, we can travel. Next month we will go to Dubai, then we go to China for some sourcing, like a sourcing travel. Then we can go to Los Angeles. We're gonna go like in the next 3 months, I think. So yeah, you can really do like anything you want, and yeah, because like your business works for you and you don't work for your business. So yeah, that's also like something you need to understand, is that all right, you can have a company, but sometimes you work for the company and sometimes the company works for you. And I think for information product,
explain more of that. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, like for instance, when I was first starting my e-com businesses, I was making like 10K, but with no ads, no nothing. I was using a strategy that I was messaging people. So it was kind of new, so it was working. But if I stop, if I stop it, like my business stop it, So and I wasn't able to teach that skills because I was very good at sales, and like it would be too long to teach someone how to do it and to pay him to do it. So yeah, I was working for my company. I created a job actually.
Yes.
And that wasn't the goal. So, but with info product, actually, you can make money while you sleep. You can deliver value while you sleep, and that's the case where your company works for you and you have a business. You don't have a job.
Yes. So we're getting up to the hour. Tell me a little bit more about the. So we talked about how basically it can be like 99%, margins in terms of what you keep. So what are some of the things when it comes to automating and scaling? What are some of the things that you've learned in this space in terms of how you can make money while you sleep? Like what is available there?
Yeah, for instance, if you do like done for your consulting, you need to be here to deliver value actually. And that was when I was thinking, all right, if you can take this value and put it into like an automated product, you can you can be everywhere at the same time, teaching people different things. So yeah, and like if you're done for your consulting, obviously you cannot deliver value while you sleep. And yeah, if you do like videos, if you have info products, you can you can teach like 1 billion people at the same time, the same thing while you sleep. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. It's
that's
pretty cool.
the very cool.
And who would you think, like, who can do this? Who can become a digital millionaire? Like, are there specific kinds of people, or can anyone do it? Like, who can do this?
I think talking about skills, I would not say that almost everyone can do it, but more people that you can think can do it. Actually, you need to
Mhm.
be good at something, and then you need to isolate the value you can deliver and put it into an info product, and then you can like scale it and like sell it to people. I've seen people making money. Like into making a porn addiction courses, like
Yeah.
I've seen people making money like so many ways,
Yeah.
so I would not say that anyone can do it, because you need to have some mental strength to begin with. But yeah, talking about skills, like you definitely don't need to be a genius to make money.
Mhm.
uh, uh, yeah, like
And how
if you have a
expensive?
basic IQ, like
Exactly.
then
And
you
like,
can
if you have a
definitely.
basic IQ, and if you have a like a work ethic, and if you have access to the internet,
Mhm.
so you can teach yourself all the things, then basically
Yeah,
anyone who wants to do this, I believe that anyone who wants to do this can
absolutely.
do it.
Yeah,
You just got to be resourceful. You have to go on, on YouTube and watch the videos and teach yourself and read the books and take the courses,
exactly.
like, and then you can. There, like, I believe the sky's the
Exactly.
limit. Do you agree?
I think, yeah, I agree. Like I didn't understood like the question like this, but yeah, in this way, yeah, definitely anybody can do it. Like people sometimes they think that you need to have a diploma, like a degree, to and that makes you smart. But actually, during my 5 years in my school, I've lost like 5 years of my life, and I've lost like some money, but I've learned nothing. All of what I learned
Yes.
it
Yes.
YouTube
Yes.
courses, books. Like if you take the personal MBA, all of what you need to do and that you can learn in 5 years doing an MBA or anything, you can learn it into your book, for instance. So
Yes.
no excuse, because like we have this chance of, we are very
Yes.
lucky to have everything we need online, like for almost free.
Yeah.
So yeah, if
So
you want and if you put into work, you have everything you need to be successful.
absolutely right. So I believe, I feel like the only thing keeping someone from being a millionaire in today's world is that they haven't decided and committed and then done the work to show up. But I believe, especially in the information business,
Mm.
literally, if you decide and if you're willing to put in the work, anyone can become, because there are jugglers who are millionaires in the information space. There are people who teach like knitting in the information space and they're millionaires.
Mhm.
So it's literally like you're the
Yeah,
only person standing in your way, and the only reason you're not financially free is because you haven't decided to learn the things and
exactly.
gain the skill sets and keep showing up when things get hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Absolutely. I
So
think that whoever you think you can do it, like yeah, listen.
and then
Yeah, go on, sure. Sorry, I had
oh, no worries, no worries. So any last piece of advice that you would share with someone who has decided, hey, I do want to be a millionaire. Like, my mindset is expanded. Whoa, I didn't even know that this was a possibility for me. But now that I realize that there's so much free information on the internet, and that I just have to decide and commit. What are your last pieces of advice to anyone who's either considering starting a business, or they want to reach their first $1 million, or they're just at a place where they're needing a little bit more encouragement or inspiration or advice, or just any advice that
Mhm.
you would give someone that you love?
I think I have two advice. The first one is, whether you think you can do it or you don't think you can do it, you are right in both cases.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. The
Yeah.
second thing is, you really need to desacralize like a million. Like
Mm.
it's big, because like from like everybody, yeah, a million actually is a lot of money. But if you think about it like into like more like a business, it's
Mhm.
very easy to get to a million. Like you only need to sell, for instance, like 1,000 people, 1,000, like something that
Yes,
costs 1,000, or
yes,
2,000 people, something that costs
yes.
500. So, and with internet, you can have access to 2 billion people, I think, something like this.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's definitely doable.
Awesome. Well, Swan, thank you so much. This was so much fun. This, like, I think anyone who listens to this or is watching
Mhm.
this, they will learn a lot. If they wanted to learn more about you and your business, where would they go to learn more about, the incredible work that you're doing?
So we just launched a YouTube channel for
Okay.
my company, Bravis Media. It's in French, so we'll
Okay.
have case studies about e-commerce. We're going to do a case study where we teach people like the anatomy of seven figures e-com stores.
Okay.
So if you want to check it out, it will be onto Facebook. The name of the company is Bravis Media. And yeah, you can, like, if you have any question, you can add me, like, it's Swan Kenzo on Facebook. So I will be glad to answer and to help.
Perfect. Are you also on Instagram?
Yeah, Swan Kenzo too.
Okay, cool. Great. So, guys, he has a YouTube channel. He's on all the social media platforms, which I don't like. There are only a few, I think, right now that you should be focusing on. So, again,
Mhm.
thank you so much. And thank you, everyone who joined us
Thank
today.
you.
We're going to continue to have more, millionaires in the online information space who very quickly made it to their first $1 million to inspire you to know that really, guys, it's just down to you making a decision that you want to be a millionaire, and that two, you're willing to show
Mhm.
up and do the work to make it happen. And Swan right here
Absolutely.
is an absolute example of it. He's so young. You have like the world. Like, oh my God, I'm so excited to see your trajectory as you continue to do
Thanks.
more
Me
things.
too.
So let me know when you reach your $10 million. I'll be
Yeah,
really
sure.
excited to
I'll
celebrate
hit
you.
you.
And what tell us what's the after the $10 million, what's the next, what are the big things that you're excited, what are the next milestones, what are the like that's coming up?
Um, I think that it's not after the 10 millions. Obviously, the goal would be higher. But
Yeah.
yeah, my goal in the long run is to really create things that has like an impact. There is lots of issues I want to work on, but I know
Mhm.
I'm like too young and like that I don't have the resource to work on now. It's
Mm.
like climate change, poverty,
Ah,
lots of issues that we will face in the
right.
next years, and I
Yeah.
really want to like be part of
Huh.
the people that get up and try to find solutions. So,
Son,
but we'll
well,
see.
we're gonna have to work together on that, because quite like right next to my book, um that this is why I do the work that I do. It just some of the things you were talking about: eradicating poverty,
Eradicate poverty.
preventable diseases, global hunger, sustainable cities and consumption, education, global banking. You're right. There are so many
Yeah,
issues, and so what
absolutely.
part of my mission is, and you're part of it, and I want other people to join us. I want to create an army of millionaires where we come together to change those problems on that list. Where we as
I
millionaires,
mean,
yes, you're in. All right, we have our like I think we already have a tribe, but you're in on the tribe. I'll figure out a way to like really bring us together. But yeah, it's like Millionaires for Impact. There we go. That's the brand, Millionaires for Impact. Yeah, and let's come together. And I want
nice.
to invite everyone who's listening to this, please join us and become a millionaire, because by becoming a millionaire, you have just the possibility to create more impact and to actually take a big chunk out of those problems. We can change it. We can do it ourselves. We don't have to
Yeah.
wait for government. We don't have to wait for international organizations. I was part of them.
Hmm.
We can do it ourselves. So let's lock arms and let's change the world together. I think that's what it's for.
Yeah,
Awesome, Swan. Well, thank you again so
definitely.
much. We'll be in touch. You're part of the crew now, Millionaires for Impact, and I'll talk
Cool.
soon.